Hey there, beautiful souls. Whether you're single or in a relationship, this intuitive love tarot reading was meant to find you. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here again. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for ongoing spiritual guidance. If you've been searching for answers, clarity, or confirmation, this reading may hold the message you've been waiting for. Ready to see what's unfolding? Let's dive in. Hey there, Capricorn. This is your general intuitive love reading, and it is for mid-August. I have asked for blessings for the reading, so we're going to dive right in. We'll see what the cards want to tell us. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on here. Okay, my guides are giving me, whoops, I hope you can hear me. There was a big horn outside. Okay, let's start that again. My guides are giving me, Capricorn, a message here. And the first message that they're giving me is that relationships for you are really undergoing some profound transformation. All right, that's the first thing I need to put out there. And why that is, they're telling me, is because it's really important for you to undergo a balancing of understanding your the importance and the need for independence with the desire to be in a relationship and to have, in order to have some kind of lasting harmony in a partnership. Okay. That is really, really important, because when we understand the line between, being independent, even when we're in a relationship, it isn't about being with somebody 24/7, right? It isn't being, stuck at the hip with somebody where you have to go to everything each other does and whatever. You have to have your life, they have to have their life, and then you can also have things you do together and commonalities and whatever. But it's very important to realize that independence is important. And for you, I feel like this is part of your transformation that you're going through right now. Now, because maybe you are aware of that, that's great. And if you're not aware of that, then this is a bit of a wake-up call for you, because of the energies that we see here on the table. Okay. You have in your main messages here the sabotaging card, the dormant card, and the frustration card. So hence the reason, if you're trying to jump into a relationship and you are not learning this lesson, or you're not understanding that, and you're wanting to be with somebody and all you want to do is be smothering somebody, or you want somebody to be smothering you all the time, like, that is probably not the most healthiest relationship that you will ever have. And maybe at the end of that, even if you ignore that transformation and try to push it and jump into something nonetheless, then it will end up, not in a great place. And then, there should be no surprise that that ended up where it ended up. Okay. Let's get into your current general energies. You have the sabotaging card. It's clarified by the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. The sabotaging card says ending things abruptly, always emotionally aloof, or fear of rejection. Okay. So are you doing this sabotaging to yourself? So self-sabotage? Or, are they sabotaging it? Somebody's trying to push something away here. Either you're trying to push them away or they push you away. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you're both pushing each other away, but there's some self-sabotaging going on, or some sabotaging in general. Okay? You're sabotaging yourself if you don't understand the concept of this independence versus, doing things together and having your together time, but also being independent. You're sabotaging yourself by not realizing that if you're not in a relationship, then you won't find the right relationship. That is how you may be sabotaging yourself. Okay? So, it's definitely some highly charged emotional energy sabotaging. Okay? It's definitely guarded energy. Okay? Sabotaging says that, even if you have strong feelings for somebody, even if you're in a relationship and you have strong feelings for them, your communication styles certainly are not matching. Okay? I don't think both of you want to end things abruptly, okay? Even if it's conversation and it's not ending the relationship, but it's ending your conversations. I am sure you don't want you don't want your partner to be emotionally aloof, and I don't think your partner wants you to be emotionally aloof. Okay? But and fear of rejection causes us to act in these ways. Okay? So you could have strong feelings, but you're certainly not, your styles of communicating, they're not on par with each other. Okay. Maybe there's some pride there. Maybe there's some emotional defenses that are up. Maybe there's some interfering with the connection that's going on. I feel that a little less, but I just feel in general there's somebody sabotaging something or self-sabotaging. All right. King of Swords is the card of saying it's time to approach this logically. Use your head. Get the facts. Get the clarity of mind here. Okay? You need to emotionally detach yourself just a little bit to be able to see what the sabotaging is and why it's happening. Okay? You need to approach this from a more logical standpoint. Now, I know it's hard because you also have this Queen of Wands here, and that's a card of all about passion and confidence and attraction and being, it's a very strong personality, right? Wanting to, be all, lovey and passionate and getting out there and shining very brightly. One of these, there's, two core cards here. So one could be you and one could be the other person. I don't know which is which. Both can be characteristics of yourself. Both can be characteristics of you knowing what you need to do and what it feels like, and that you like these feelings, but you need to use your head. So, head and heart, and having them on the same page. But at the end of the day, it could be, both characteristics of the other person as well. So, take it how it resonates. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. Okay. So when we get into this Queen of Wands, like I said, a lot of passionate energy here. And maybe there is some chemistry and maybe there's a magnetic pull. All right. But that does not change the sabotaging. That doesn't rectify the sabotaging. Okay. I feel like if you are in a relationship, I feel like there's two strong-willed people. One that uses the head, one that is passionate. I feel like that is sort of like you're coming at it from sort of two different angles. And somebody here is not willing to be a little bit vulnerable or let down their guard or let down their sword. Okay. For some of you, it's about pride. Some of you, it's a little bit overthinking. Okay. Which then can create some distance or cause the sabotaging to occur. A very interesting read here, my Capricorn friends. Let's get into the resistance. You have the dormant card, you have the Three of Swords, and the Devil. Very interesting that in the resistance and the outcome, you have 3, 3, and 3. Okay. Threes are the number of, yes, it's a card of expansion, but it's also a number of expansion and growth. But that growth is required because there's instability. A table does not stand on 3 legs. It stands on 4 legs. That's where the stability comes into play for that table in order to stand. It's very hard for a table to stand on 3 legs, or, as a person or an animal that is, walks on 4 legs, is an animal on 4 legs, much harder for us to walk around on 3 legs, for them to walk around on 3 legs, right? So there is some instability there, and that's strongly felt in this sabotaging, this adornment, and this frustration. And then you add to that the devil. Okay, so let's get into that resistance position. That dormant card says early stages, not aware of what could be, don't expect to fall in love. Now, for some of you, it's like you've sabotaged yourself, self-sabotaged so much that you're like, I don't expect to ever, I'm not going there. I'm not ready for that. I'm not going there. I'm not looking for a relationship. No way, no how. Okay. And if you do meet somebody, well, then it's going to be very frustrating because you're not prepared for this and you will continue to self-sabotage. For others of you, you are not aware of what could be, or how you, or the fact that you are sabotaging or self-sabotaging. Okay. Or that the other person is doing this. Okay. For some of you, this is just too early stages in a relationship, and you just, it's really just causing some kind of, well, three of swords pain. Okay. To put a fine point on it. Okay. So the resistance here, or the challenge, is unresolved emotional pain or unhealthy attachments, right? Or just realizing that dormancy is, is not helpful in a relationship. You can't be dormant. You have to be active. You have to constantly be trying and working at it. Now, if you are in a relationship, and as I said, if you are sabotaging, but you still feel like, listen, we do care about each other. Of course, you're going to care about each other. Dormant doesn't suggest the absence of feelings. Okay. They haven't disappeared. They could be buried beneath a lot of hurt. They could be buried beneath a lot of fear. They could be buried beneath a lot of disappointment. They could be buried beneath those wounds of this card, of this Three of Swords. They could be mixed up in this devil obsession, because the devil adds obsession. The devil is dependency in a love reading. It's temptation, it's toxic cycles that are difficult to break. It's a lot of obsession and the need to be with somebody, right? Like all the time. Okay. So, so you're definitely in this transformation that you have to get through, my friends, definitely, where you need to realize that your independence is important. This dependency needs to break. You cannot be dependent and be independent at the same time. That does not work. Okay, so a little bit of healing, some emotional pain, or remaining trapped inside unhealthy dynamics. So someone, Capricorn, may struggle releasing attachments, or recognizing that this, if you are in a relationship, that it is becoming a little bit emotionally difficult. All right. Okay, let's get into your outcome. You have the frustration card. It is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. As I said, you have 3 threes, 2 of them under this frustration card. The frustration card says great effort to make it work, sacrificing too much, hard to be on the same page. Okay. As I said, this is instability because you have the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. The outcome here really shows that despite the frustrations, you're trying to make it work. You might be trying to make it work. You might be trying to push it ahead. You may be trying, waiting, but there's a lot of impatience. That whatever it is that's causing you to have that frustration. Maybe it's the resistance of the dormancy or the sabotaging that's going on. Frustration suggests that we may want growth, but it's a struggle with the timing or the coordination of it. Okay. So, again, that could be if you're single or if you are in a relationship. You're trying to rebuild something, right? Three of Pentacles is often about teamwork, and teamwork means that you're working together. And if you're working together, you're on the same page and in the same direction, and therefore can build something. And you're working towards something. But it's very frustrating, okay? And you're trying to work together more constructively, or you're trying to maybe sabotage less or self-sabotage less. Okay, you're trying to work towards some kind of future planning there. However, again, it's frustrating because you need to wait maybe for the progress, to see the progress that you're making. Or there's, in this card, there's a bit of distance while trying to look ahead. Okay. Sometimes this is about saying, yes, nothing ventured, nothing gained, so you have to give it a shot. But sometimes, yes, the hardest things are the things that are more worth it because the effort that it was required to put into it. So I feel like your frustration here doesn't necessarily end at this end of this 4 weeks. Perhaps you're still pushing forward in this relationship, if you're in one, or if you're not in a relationship, in finding the one that is the good one for you, and the one that doesn't push you away, or the one that you don't want to push away. Okay? Progress is possible, my friends. It may be a bit of slow progress, remember that. But frustration is going to come, and but it's coming because you want something more clearer and you want movement forward. So it's something that you're going to have to work through. Okay, so something here is still growing, it's still evolving, even if it's just gradual. All right, my friends, that's it for today. I don't know who is going to resonate with the messages in this. I hope some of you do. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out, and I am truly grateful for your support of this channel. It doesn't exist without you, and I'm just really grateful for your support. I'll see you again very soon. Until then, please know that I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.